Another night of terror for the team as our investigation continues deep in the heart of Romania.
You won't harm us, will you? Talk to us, give me a sign. Oh!
And welcome back to Transylvania, and a place that was built for safety and refuge, but has proved to be anything other than that for us. Welcome to Most Haunted and Night 2 at the Citadel, Raznov.
The biggest and most complex example of walled refuges built in southern Transylvania, originally constructed by the Teutonic Knights, providing the town below with a safe haven in a land constantly facing brutal invasion and deadly upheaval from surrounding neighbours. The Citadel fell to invaders only once, when lack of water forced the defenders to capitulate. Legend has it that following this defeat, 2 Turkish prisoners dug a well within the Citadel walls to provide a secure water supply. A massive earthquake in the early 1800s destroyed many of the internal buildings, and from the mid-1850s, the Citadel was abandoned by the living and left to its ghostly occupants. Perhaps not unsurprisingly then, that our first night's investigation was alive with mysterious noises and unwelcome terror.
I'm now underneath the floor with the skeleton. One loud bang and I'll go. I'll know it's you and I'll go. I know this is...
With so much activity and fear already experienced, who would dare to go off alone and in the dark? Well, David and myself did just that. And this is what happened. Well, here we are. We're in the ruins of the Citadel in Raznov. How do you feel?
A little bit apprehensive. It might lie ahead, really, but... it's an exciting place, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you? Come on. It's a bit creepy.
Desolate, isn't it?
Yeah. What's that noise?
Oh, that.
Do you know what I mean? Ooh.
I heard some shift behind us.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a storm, but then it clicked again.
Could be wolves or...
Oh, don't. Do you know, if the paranormal don't get you, the wolves and the bears will. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Do you sense anything? Do you sense anything following us?
I tell you what, I am aware of is being watched.
Oh, great.
I do feel as if I'm being watched.
Really? Really?
Yeah, for me.
I'll grab hold of you when you say that. There.
Oh, what?
There.
What?
Behind us.
What?
Like a slight... It was like a slight footstep. You know, like somebody kicking a stone.
It is like that. It's like someone every now and again kicks something, you're right.
Come on, who's following us? It's pitch black. If you're following us, can we hear your footsteps? What?
I'm just checking.
What, you touched me?
I didn't touch you.
You didn't touch me.
I swear to God I didn't touch you.
You bloody did.
I swear on my mother's life I did not touch you. I did that.
Did you not?
I did that and I didn't touch you.
Something grabbed my arm.
No, it wasn't me.
Touched my arm.
It wasn't me.
This part of the Citadel is home to a great number of hauntings.
Around 1612, Prince Gabriel Bathroy, the nephew of Erzsébet Bathroy, Slovak's most infamous serial killer, conquered the Citadel. And so it is that moment in history that causes the terrifying screams to echo through these crumbling ruins. Or has something more sinister happened in its past? A tall, thin man has been seen wearing long robes, walking solemnly down these narrow paths. Some describe him as a monk, while others think he's a priest. Whoever he is, one thing is for sure, his skeletal face is said to freeze people with terror.
Two men fighting have been seen here and in the ruined rooms behind this stone wall many times. They're thought to be locked in an eternal feud over a young girl. People have complained about feeling sick and depressed when walking by this wall, and some believe that evil lurks in this area. Inside the building behind me, there is said to be an entity so terrifying that anyone who has seen it refuses to describe it, in fear that it will haunt them forever. But there is one place that may well haunt me forever. And here it is, all 210 feet of it, something I've been dreading since we arrived. This is the well. Now, when excavating, the skeletons of two men were unearthed, and they still haven't finished. So what other horrors still lie in wait as the excavations continue? During a particularly long, violent siege of the fortress, two prisoners were given the task of digging the well in exchange for their freedom. Although it allegedly took them 17 years to finish, they were savagely murdered, and since then they are said to haunt the well in search of their freedom. One thing you're probably asking is, why should I be so scared of this? Well, I've been to many places with more ghosts than this, but I'm not going to investigate this well standing next to it. I'm going to be very, very brave and get to the very bottom with no quick escape.
Given our experiences of the previous night's investigation, what concerns did Dr. Kieran O'Keefe have for the team and the coming night's continued exploration of Raznov Citadel?
Kieran, the second night of our investigation here in Transylvania, this has to be one of the most amazing places we've ever been to.
You're right, it's the second night, two-night investigation. A little bit concerned about the crew because last night was scary. Also, they're very, very tired.
Now, we're going to be concentrating on different areas. For instance, the ruins. I mean, there's lots of sort of little streets, and I will imagine when it goes dark, it's going to be quite frightening.
It will be quite frightening. It's going to be very different from what it was last night. It's open, so we have to worry about temperature because we're going to be exposed to the elements. But also, there's the possibility of a lot of corner of the eye phenomena because there are places where there are shadows, there are lots of streets and little rooms, and also because it's ruins there's lots of loose rocks around, and at night time that's something we have to be especially careful of.
And tonight I'm a little bit worried because of course I'm going down the well, 210 feet drop, pitch black, not happy at all about it.
It's going to be scary for a completely different reason. The psychology of it scares me even. How do you feel about going down there?
What fascinates me is that people think that the well is haunted by the two Turkish prisoners. They've recently found skeletons that could have been either thrown down there or died in the 1950s or 60s. That to me is petrifying, being lowered down on top of that. What else is there?
You're right, you're going into a supposedly haunted well, two Turkish prisoners, these modern skeletons, but are there any other spirits down there?
Yeah.
And it's down to David, I guess, to find out, and yourself if you have any experiences.
Also, we should be very, very proud of ourselves. We're the first television crew ever to go down that well and find out exactly what's been going on. And the first paranormal investigation to take place here as well, in Transylvania. So we've got a really good night ahead of us, a terrifying night and a cold night, but a brilliant one.
The team had already endured one night of fear. Terrified but unperturbed, we prepared to resume our investigation of the Citadel.
It's not often on this show that I come under a true psychic attack. I don't like this place at all. Oh.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
What would David Wells uncover as we prepare to resume our investigation of Razanov Citadel, starting in the ruins in what had once been streets and houses?
There's one very strong thing here, which is a priest, but he's an Orthodox priest, so, you know, like they wear those funny hats.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yes, like a square.
Yeah, like a black hat on. He's got one of those on. He has a cross. He has a cross, or I'm not sure if it's a cross or an icon, you know how they...
Yeah.
We get back to the language thing. He's gesticulating. He's pointing to that tower.
Yeah.
And holding that out to me.
Oh.
So he's pointing to that tower and holding the icon towards me.
Okay.
Can you describe the icon?
It's a Christ icon, and it's a piece of wood, and it has the cross is like a normal cross, but at the end there's like that bit on it.
Ah,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then there's a Christ figure of Christ on it.
Right.
And to me, that's saying protect yourself. It's saying,
Ooh.
do you know what I'm saying? It's saying take Christ with you, which would be his. And certainly, you know, it's not something that I would be averse to. It's something he's saying. Hey, take this protection with you.
What? So where we're about to go into the tower?
Yeah.
He's saying we need the protection of Christ.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, let's head up towards there then. Why are you picking up on why he's saying that? Is there a good reason?
Well, no, he's absolutely. You know, the interesting, slightly worrying thing is he's absolutely mute. He's not speaking to me at all. He's not even making an attempt. Some of them earlier were moving their lips. You know, I could see like they were trying to talk to me. But this one is completely mute.
What time period would you say he was? Is he modern? Is he?
No, he's not modern. I think he's probably around. It's probably 15th century.
Right.
I can also hear as we come into this area. I can hear.
This is creepy, isn't it, round here?
Very odd.
Ooh.
I can hear swords clashing around here.
Right.
As well. I can see the clashing of swords.
Mm-hmm.
It's not surprising, though, is it?
Well, no, you're right. It's not surprising, but it's not a big old battle. It's only a couple of people.
All right.
So two people having a fight.
Fighting.
Yeah.
It may be, you know, going back to the politics we spoke about earlier, differing views, and I guess they didn't sort things out by having a little quiet chat, did they?
No, this is true.
Conscious of the unsettling warning from the ghostly priest, we switched to night vision and entered the tower.
I mean, this is a really quite a big slant, isn't it? Are you getting anything as we're walking further in towards the tower?
The only thing I'm getting is a little bit worried, really.
Why?
Well, there's two things going on. One, I can hear a bell tolling, which I think is never a good thing.
Is that symbolic or something?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they had a bell here. I don't know. I can hear a bell, a single bell ringing. What I'm sensing ahead of us is more energetic than physical at the moment.
Right.
Just this dark ball of energy.
Okay.
And I've got a violent headache all of a sudden.
Okay. What do these things mean? Headache, your mouth's going really dry. Is this
They're all warning signs. I don't know whether it's coming from my fear or anything in here. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
We'll find out, won't we?
Oh, God, be careful. That top step's wobbly. God, these stairs are so narrow. Ooh, where does this go? Oh, right, okay. I get it.
Just like a battlement.
Yeah. Ooh. How are you feeling?
I feel dreadful all of a sudden.
Do you? In what way?
I don't know. I feel forced out here. I feel very threatened here.
Tapping. It's right under my feet. If there's anybody with us, any spirit people, can you make those bangs much louder for us, please? Thank you. Are you all right, David? What's the matter?
No, I just feel a bit jumpy.
Do we have anything to be frightened of being here?
Not twice for yes, once for no. Do you mean there's any harm?
I don't know. That's one of those.
Is this like a heartbeat?
Yeah.
I can feel it vibrating.
It's right under my feet.
Don't whistle. Does that sound like it's coming lower down? Does it?
It's hard to pinpoint.
Yeah. What do we think? Do you want to go lower?
Yeah.
You do? Do you want to go down those steps there behind you? Or do you want to walk further?
I don't know.
You don't sound very good at all. Why would you not be feeling very good?
I feel really faint. I feel dizzy.
What would this have been used for?
I guess it's obviously a central point or a gate into the city, isn't it? Or into the Citadel. You can see it's that, but it's not. It's almost like there's a psychic. There's a presence that's a gate. Do you know what I mean? There's almost like
there's a gate.
There's a gatekeeper. It's almost like there's even still a force that sort of protects the gate.
Oh.
And it feels more like an energy and less like a human. So it's like one of these, you know how those glowing red-eyed things, big black mass with glowing red eyes is how it presents to me.
So not very nice then, obviously.
Not pleasant, threatening, but maybe intentionally as a warning. Do you know what I mean?
A warning for what? Oh, just stay
Keep out,
away.
Just stay away. My mouth is. I can hardly talk. My mouth is completely dry.
Do you want to go further down?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Can do, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I can't distinguish whether it's here or whether I'm just. Do you know what I mean? Something else came. I don't like this place at all. Not this place.
There's nothing round here. It is just a walkway, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
There aren't any rooms off it. And there's the gate there, which would have
Call out, David.
gone down.
If there's anyone there, if anyone's trying to affect me or anything is trying to affect me, just give me. I don't mean you any harm. I certainly don't mean you any harm. Quite the opposite. Could you try and maybe communicate with us?
What's the matter? What's the matter? You right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Just this, whatever it is older. You just touched me in the back.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Is older. That it feels like it's older. It feels like it's protecting the land. It's almost like it's really old. One of these really ancient spirits. And it just threw itself at me in a great huge ball of fire. So a big ball of fire came straight towards me. That's how it threw itself at me. So I'm using everything I've got to keep myself, do you know what I mean, protected and safe. It's not often that you really, it's. Oh,
you're right.
Yeah, it's not often on this show that I come under a true psychic attack.
Yeah.
A complete attack on that level. Often it's astral, so it's like,
Yeah.
But this is a real psychic attack. He's hitting me on everything I've got. He's really hitting me at everything I've got.
And this is this black mass you were talking about with the red eyes.
But he's showing elemental, so if he's pushing fire, it's an element, you know, and the black mass is often associated with the earth elements because they, you know.
How would this affect us? Are we going to feel symptoms like this, or?
I think most people here would feel uneasy. They'd feel maybe a bit breathless. If someone was naturally sensitive, they'd just not like it. Just don't know why, but they wouldn't like it. But I must admit, this is the first time in a very, very long time, and one of the rare times that I feel psychically attacked. And I'd quite like to leave.
Okay.
With David seemingly under intense psychic attack, we approach the coming hours with foreboding.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Bloody bones on the floor! What? Don't do Dad? What's the matter? Dad, what happened?
Somebody just touched me.
You sure? Give me a sign. Oh!
In an attempt to unravel the apparent psychic assault on David, we held a séance, hoping to put form to his attackers.
If you affected me earlier, you know, try again. Oh, did the table move there, or was it just me?
Cool. How many of you are here? Knock out how many of you are here.
Dry mouth thing again.
Is that 9?
Yeah. I think it was about 9 or 10.
Do you mean there's any harm? Knock twice for yes, once for no. Oh, blimey.
With the warning from the séance leaving me with grave reservations, I prepared to drop 210 feet to the bottom of the well. Unfortunately, David would not be joining me due to the knee injury sustained on the previous day. Would his presence at the surface protect me spiritually as I descended into the unknown?
Okay, let's go, let's just do it. Okay, bye. I'm going down. Well, I don't want to look down. Holy shit!
You alright, sweetheart?
Yeah, we're okay, aren't we?
You're fine?
The rope's not going to snap, is it?
No, you've got safety as well, sweetheart, which is right on your left side.
Okay.
You can feel everything there, sweetie.
I'm finding it hard to breathe as we're going down. I'll try and get a shot as we're going down. Holy crap! Oh, okay. Okay. I'm doing okay.
Going down there on your own is enough, but the fact that it's haunted, and Yvette doesn't like to be on her own in rooms that are haunted, and she's going down a well.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay, that's the wall. Oh God! Oh God! When are we getting to the end? Oh, we're nearly at the end. We're nearly at the end. Oh, it's the most frightening things I've ever... It's with the bloody bones on the floor!
Relieved to have reached the bottom, I suddenly became aware that I was not alone. What other terrors were to come in this frighteningly enclosed and suddenly very lonely place?
Is there anybody there? Anthony, for f***'s sake!
Having descended 210 feet to the bottom of the Citadel's well, I discovered to my horror human bones. What else would I find alone and in this dark and claustrophobic space?
Oh shit! There's bones on the floor! Okay! There's glasses! There's glasses! Look! Where are they? There! Can you see?
You hear me, over?
And there's a pair of glasses!
Say again, sweetheart.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm calling out if there's any astral beings, any spirit people here. Can you make a noise? Let me know if there's someone here with me. Please make a noise. Let me know that there's someone here. I don't mean you any harm.
Yvette, can you say something? Can you say anything, sweetheart?
I'm just calling out to see if there's any response, but it's very quiet.
Okay, sweetheart, I'm on my way down now.
I think Carl's coming down. I have to put my glasses on in case Carl dislodges anything and it hits me. Please, we don't mean you any harm. Did you die down here? Were you the Turkish prisoners? Or were you pushed down here? Were you killed in the 1950s, 60s? Please, give us a sign. Let us know that you're around.
You got me? Let's go. Bring it on.
Okay. Just Carl, be very careful you don't drop anything.
No, don't worry, I won't.
Okay.
Bye, Mum, I love you.
Blimey, someone's pulling on this rope. Ow! Why are they pulling on the rope? Please, talk to us. Give me a sign. Oh! Okay, that was a good point. Put your glasses on.
It's a strange feeling. I'm kind of nervous and yet exhilarated. Look, you see your feet dangling. It's bizarre. Strange to think that we're going down a well. I mean, how privileged are we? Not only are we in Transylvania, but we're going down a well that is hundreds and hundreds of years old.
I can't believe I'm down at the bottom of a 210-foot well in Transylvania. For God's sake. Give us a sign. Let me know that you're here. My name's Yvette. I'm calling out to any astral beings, any spirit people that may be here in this well. If you died here, come and talk to us. You might need help. Please, give us a sign. Let me know that you're around. And Carl on his way down.
People dug this. Two Turkish soldiers have dug this. How hard would that have been?
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. You okay?
Yeah.
Does it go off at an angle?
No, it doesn't. Okay.
You alright, you?
You got you.
Coming down the top. Oh shit! Human bones down it.
No. Okay.
I'm down! That's human bones. Oh shit, there's loads of them. These are human bones. There's a rib there.
I know.
There's a leg bone.
What's it in Romanian? It was,
That's strange.
What's the matter?
Something has just come from nowhere, right in front of my screen. Downwards.
It's dust though coming down. It's hit me in the eye.
It's not dust.
Stone, could it be?
It could be a stone, but no one's.
Little bits are coming down. What's the Romanian again for, is there anybody there? It's yay. Okay. Yay cineva acolo. Yay cineva acolo. You are joking.
No way.
Yay cineva acolo. Oh my God.
That's tapping on the walls.
It is.
That's on the sides.
Please knock louder if you can hear us. Okay. Please knock twice for yes and once for no. Did you die down here? It's right with us.
The trouble is, it's right with us, but we can't go anywhere.
Okay. Do you need any help? Knock twice for yes and once for no.
I don't like that. That's right. Are we still attached, aren't we?
David, we're getting knockings now. As soon as I said that in Romanian, we got really loud knockings.
Okay, listen, I don't sense anything negative.
Basically, it's saying it needs help. Okay. Those poor people.
Oh. Oh, God, I'm not psychic, honey, but you...
Do your family know what happened to you? No.
Yvette, can you ask how many there is?
How many of you were murdered? Can you tap out how many of you were murdered? 2 of you. 2 of you were murdered.
Is this...
What? Don't do that. What's the matter?
Don't do that.
What happened?
Somebody just touched me.
You sure? It's the rope. It's
It's not the rope, it's behind me. It was this.
Okay.
I'm firmly got my back to... Sorry.
Okay. Were you murdered? Were you pushed down the well, knocked twice for yes, once for no? Okay.
Poor people.
I know.
Makes you want to cry.
I know. Do you know who David is? David tonight was sent... Was that you, Carl?
Yeah.
You all right? You feel sick? Yeah. You all right?
I'm freaked. You don't seem freaked.
No, I'm fascinated by it. Okay. Can you do something else for us? Please, we will help you. Can you do something else for us? Don't harm us in any way. You won't harm us, will you? Thank you. Are both of you here now? Can you try and show yourself to us? Can you show yourself to us? Was that you?
What's what me?
Did you just kick me?
I haven't kicked you, mate.
You just touched my leg.
I haven't touched your leg. Where is your leg?
Here.
Well, I'd have to be waving over
Oh
there.
my God! Something just touched my leg.
Right. Ask him to do it again. I'll stand right against this wall.
Can you touch Carl's leg? Can you touch Carl's leg?
You seem to be taking this all in your stride.
Because I'm angry. I'm angry at the situation that these poor men of what happened.
I'm scared.
I am scared. I'm scared. I don't like the touchy thing, I have to say. Please don't touch us anymore.
We just asked him to touch us, didn't you?
No, I didn't ask him to touch me. I asked him to touch you.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, he did. He touched you as well.
Okay. You did.
Something just touched my leg.
Something touched my leg.
Almost fell over.
Something touched my leg, but it's like a pressing.
It was like
something
that.
Pressing.
It was like...
Yes, nudging.
I was standing by that, whatever that is. What is that? Dark bit.
Okay. How do you feel?
It's funny. I was quite spooked out on it first. When something touched me on the back, that's when I got spooked out. I can deal with stones being thrown, and I can deal with noises. So when something touches you, it's a physical thing.
Yeah.
I was freaked out with the bones. I have to admit, touching over is probably really. But it's sorrow. I feel sorrow. I don't feel scared now. I don't feel apprehensive. I just feel sorrow.
You're right.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel fine. I'm more nervous about the journey up now.
That's like a roller coaster ride. That's fantastic.
No, I don't like it really. Right, I'm going to go back up, and then
Okay.
Stuart's going to come down. Okay?
Yeah, I'm going to be down on my own.
Okay.
Hi guys, if you can hear me up there, can you pull Yvette up, please? Taking a bit of while to.
David. 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 David.
The trouble is, unless he's right over the top, he can't hear you.
David.
Is there anybody there? Is this a joke? Is there anybody there?
The trouble is, if we can't contact them, we can't get out.
Yeah, well, they're not going to leave us down here, are they?
Well, no, we'll leave us down here for an hour at least.
Is there anybody listening to us?
Where's the safety rope gone?
Hello? Can anybody hear us? Answer me, for f***'s sake!
Having descended to the bottom of Raznov Citadel's well, we found ourselves unable to contact the surface and became alarmed at the prospect of spending the remainder of the night there.
David? Is there anybody there?
Hello, here now.
Jesus Christ, thank God for that. Where have you been? To the bloody toilet?
We've been standing here, we couldn't hear you.
Stuck at the bottom of the Citadel well, my relief at finally making contact with the surface and rescue was tangible. So leaving Carl to continue alone, I began my slow and painful ascent from the depths.
Oh. Must have been one of the most terrifying experiences. I was being brave down at the bottom, but really, standing on human bones and hearing knocking and being touched on the leg was not really a very pleasant experience. Oh God, they've stopped again. I'm just dangling here in this well. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Come on, go. Go. Slowly, slowly.
Yeah, hurry up!
So hard to believe the pain and suffering these people must have felt. Alright, okay. Let's change a little bit down there now. I really don't feel like I'm on my own. Okay. If you're here, please do something. I'm standing by your remains, not on them. I'm standing over your remains. I keep hearing bits and like thuds, just. But they could be anything. They really could be anything. They could be drips of water, because it is quite damp here. That was up there. I hope you can hear that home. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My joy at getting out of the well was heartfelt, but tempered with trepidation as I watched Stuart descend to join Carl for the remainder of the vigil.
That's a scary ride, isn't it? Hey?
Do you want to show me something?
Yeah, go.
Human bones.
Just bones.
Yeah. Human bones. If you're here, please show yourself to us. There's Stuart and myself down here with two guys like you were.
I can hear that, I can hear it. My hand's free.
Yeah, you could make that noise with your hands. Listen, I'm going to tap this, make sure. Listen.
Go on, okay. I've got my hand in shot, I've got my other hand on the camera. Your hand's on the camera. So, you know.
Listen. I hope these cameras can pick this up, I really do.
You know what it sounds like a very strong heartbeat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What the hell was that then?
What?
Something literally just hit me on the side. I don't like this.
You don't?
No. Don't like this one bit. Jesus Christ. Tell me that was you, Carl. Tell me that that was
Tell me what it was.
What was that?
I'll tell you. Tell me what it was, and I'll tell you if it was me. What did you feel?
There was pressure. It was almost like it was like someone did that to me. That's exactly what it felt like.
The thing is, you've got me on camera. I've got you
Whoa!
on camera.
Mate, I'm starting to panic now. The claustrophobic side's kicking in as well now.
That's what happened before. Just calm down, Stu. Calm down. You know what I mean?
Short breath here, mate.
The chest is killing me. I don't have a heart attack down here.
I've got to stay calm. I've got to stay calm. This is the worst place to panic. But I've just got to maintain. Just got to stay calm.
Do you know, it's like I want to claw at the sides to get up.
I know. Oh, listen. That's loud.
That's echoing. That's that loud.
I know.
Okay, explain that.
Are you in any pain? Are you angry at all? Are you angry for the way you died? Do you wish us to stay here? Or would you prefer it if we left?
If you're there, please show yourself to us.
I hope that came from up there, mate. I really do. I hope they dislodged something. That landed right at the back of me, that. I'm sure it did, because I actually felt it on the back of the heel. All right.
Yeah. I've got this constant feeling that something's kind of looking.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm getting to the point I want to get out of it.
Finally overcome by the claustrophobic atmosphere of the enclosed space, the investigation drew to a close as Carl and Stuart withdrew from the well. It had been an incredible night, but given the passage of time, what did Dr. Kieran O'Keefe make of the events?
The second night's investigation at Rasnov was focused on the well.
OK, let's go, let's just do it. OK.
Carl and Yvette were down the well together, and they both heard kind of banging sounds.
Did you die down here? That's really loud. That's right with us.
And this phenomena actually started on an earlier walk around with David Wells.
Tapping. It's right under my feet.
It's a very, very small, enclosed, almost claustrophobic space that even a slight muscle twitch, you could misinterpret those simple, very subtle physiological occurrences as though somebody is touching you or you're being touched even by a spirit.
What? Don't do that. What's the matter?
Don't do that.
What happened?
Somebody just touched me.
All in all, I think they were very brave for actually going down into the well, but psychology would have played havoc with their minds. However, all of these psychological factors together made it quite an interesting and a truly unique ghost investigation.
Our 2 nights at Rasnov Citadel were amongst the most frightening ever experienced by the Most Haunted team. I will never forget my descent into the darkness of the well and my horror at discovering the human bones at the bottom. It was certainly an encounter that will haunt my nightmares for years to come. Until next time, sleep tight.
Straight over on Living 2 right now, you can get all the insider knowledge on what you've just seen, courtesy of Most Haunted Extra. Next on Living, we're up close and personal with the devil.